Hi, this is Mark Seymour. Thanks for stopping by. I thought I'd share with you today a series of images I took recently in Kolkata, where I show lots of images that I took of one particular scene and the final image and how I arrived at it. I refer to this book by Magnum called Contact Sheets quite regularly. It's a great reference book to have in your library because on the left-hand side it shows the contact sheet of the photographer, and on the right-hand side it shows the image that he selected, and it shows how he arrived at the image that he wanted to show us. Also, it gives a brief outline of how they arrived at it. It's a constant source for me, so I thought I'd share with you a similar scenario but with one of my own images. And here we have the selection of images, or my contact sheet. I've chosen 18 images here, but actually took about 30 on the day. But I'd like to talk to you through my thought process in taking the final image. When I arrived down at the railway line, I saw this young lady washing her pots and pans, an everyday occurrence down at the railway line in Kolkata. And I decided to try and capture the image and use the lines as a leading line going out of the image, and it kind of works, and it's not a bad photograph. And I decided to work it a bit more because she was quite happy with me taking her image. The next image I go out a bit wider, and we can see I've included a couple of girls behind to try and tell more of a story about what is going down here on the railway line and the life that surrounds it. I've even gone wider this time. I've swapped from a 35mm lens to a 24mm lens, and you can see all the life going on here, but it looks a little bit messy, and your eye goes out of the top right where there's a white patch, and I wanted to get rid of this, so I took a couple more of it, just seeing what would happen. And then my luck started to change a little, and I heard the railway line rumble and a train approach from the left-hand side. So moved around and started to take pictures of the lady and her child as the train passed by us. I cropped in quite tight, 35mm lens. I'm sitting quite near this lady, taking a couple of images. And as you can see, the train goes past us, and it's quite a long train, so it takes probably 4 or 5 minutes to pass us. And it's really interesting, the sort of composition that we're getting now, because we have a 3-layered shot with the lady in the front, the child in the back, and the train as the background. And then I've taken a couple of more of these and just sort of seen what's happening to see if I can get a better composition. And then I decide to change tact and slow the shutter speed right down from 200th a second, which freezes the train. That doesn't really show any motion, but I dropped it down to a 15th of a second and steadied myself. And now we can see the sort of movement in the train behind that shows it's a more dangerous place to live, where you've got these trains buzzing past at quite high speed. You've got people sitting on the edge of the doorways, and you've got this lady washing her pans as an everyday occurrence, and this young child playing around on the railway lines. And then I get a bit lucky, and things start to happen as the girl on the railway line starts to walk towards the train. And she goes from a walk to a slight jog, and I'm just clicking away very slowly and deliberately, one image every sort of couple of seconds. And then my luck really starts to change, and it's something I love that happens in street photography when people walk across my camera, because what actually happens is it gives me a bookend to the photograph. And as you can see here, a lady in a sari has entered the frame on the left hand side. It's given me a nice bookend to the frame. We've got the woman in the left washing her pans, and we've got the little girl that's now gone into a sprint towards the moving train. So now, from having a couple of layers, we've now got a 4-layered image with the layer on with the lady in sari on the left, the woman washing the pans, the little girl running, and the train in the background. And it's a very interesting composition. And I just stay there. I don't look at my monitor on the back of my camera because everything is set, and I just keep clicking away until she walks through the frame. And here we have, she's moved across a little bit further, and here she's moved across a bit further. And I now know the next photograph is going to be not worth keeping, because she's going to be blocking the lady washing the pans. But the girl is great because she's gone into a full flow run, her arms are stretched out, and it's a really interesting composition. So this is the final image afterwards, and as you can see, she's now blocked, so I've stopped taking the photographs. And the next photograph I'm going to show you is the one I've chosen to print. So I've cropped off the top, the ugly buildings in the background, and I've made a nice vignette around the edge of the picture so that we concentrate on the woman washing the pan and the small girl running across the middle of the frame towards the train. The train's moving, so we can see what a dangerous location this is and the speed of the train. And the woman on the left is acting as a nice bookend as she closes in that part of the frame. So we've got a lovely four-layered image here with separation between each party. And the next slide is without the diagrams on, to show you how I finally printed it. I hope you find this interesting. I'll be posting more like this in the future, and I'd love to hear from you, but please follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you very much.